Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the channel. So in this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different to what we normally do. We normally look at Mac accessories, we look at iPhone accessories, we look at iPad accessories, but in this one, we're going to be looking at Mac Mini accessories. So literally, I picked up a Mac Mini M4 recently. Wait for the video to come out for that one, guys. Stay tuned to the channel for that. And I needed a mouse for that, so I've been going back and forth between these three mice here, and I want to take you through my thought process, and maybe you can benefit from this as well. So I've got three of the main contenders, three of the most popular mice on the market. Here we've got the Logitech M240 silent Bluetooth mouse. We've got the Logitech signature M650L mouse, which is the larger size, and we've got the Logitech MX Master 3S. This is the Master, this is the famous MX Master 3S, so we've got that here as well. And I basically just want to go through a few different features on these. I'm not going to go into crazy technical aspects like polling rate and things like that, because I want to keep it on a level with you guys. I want to keep it, real with you guys, and just on a daily basis, how these mice actually feel and how they perform on a daily basis. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. Let's get into it, guys. So first, let's look at this one. This is the M240 silent Bluetooth mouse, and it's the smallest one out of all of them, but don't take it lightly because this is a solid performer. If I just move these to the side for now, this mouse you can pick up for $9.99 from Amazon. The list price is $19.99, but generally you can find this on sale and you can pick it up for about $10 at the moment. So this is the smallest one, as I mentioned, and it does give you that flexibility. So I'm generally a person that holds my mouse in my fingertips rather than my palm. So if I hold it that way, it's perfect because I have got sort of medium to large hands, but holding it in my fingertips is actually a pleasure to use, to be honest with you. And it's really flexible, it's really accurate when you're moving it around and stuff. And I find that this mouse actually wakes up my Mac Mini even faster compared to these. So these mice here, when just moving it a little bit, they don't actually wake up my Mac Mini. Whereas this one, all it needs is a little bit of movement and it wakes up my Mac Mini. So I really like that about it. And for a $10 mouse, that's really impressive. I like the scroll wheel as well. You can move it line by line, and it is a pleasure using the scroll wheel. It actually is really accurate and it performs really well. So you do get an 18-month battery in this one. So it takes AA batteries, AA batteries. Check it out. It takes one of these, guys. So you can expect it to last quite a long time, to be honest with you. So 18 months is quite a long period of time to be using one battery in a mouse. That's actually really impressive. And when you compare it to the other ones, this has a 24-month battery, so that's even more impressive. And the MX Master 3S charges via USB-C, as you can see down there. I actually prefer having the batteries in there. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments down below. But I actually prefer these mice which have the batteries in there because I don't actually mind changing the battery every so often, especially if it's only 18 months or 24 months down the road where I have to change it. Whereas this one, after every 3 months or so, you have to charge it, which is a bit more hassle in my opinion. That's a bit more hassle compared to just sticking a battery in there and then having it last for 18 months, 24 months. I think that's really impressive, and I do prefer the batteries on these compared to the rechargeable option here where we have on the MX Master 3S. So coming back to this one, this is known as the silent Bluetooth mouse. It actually sounds like quite a dangerous name there, and it's a really nice mouse. For the price, you can't really go wrong with this mouse, to be honest with you. It's a solid option at a really affordable price. The only downside to this mouse is it's quite small. So as I mentioned, I do have medium to large size hands, and although it does perform really well when I have it in my fingertips, if you guys actually use it with your palm sometimes, or you use that regularly like that, then you may struggle with this one because it's going to be on the smaller side. And if you've got big hands, you may struggle with this one too. You're going to actually have to clutch your hands a bit more on the mouse, and that may cause some hand pain and some wrist pain in the long term. So if you do have large hands and you use a palm grip, this probably isn't the one for you. But if you use it in your fingertips most of the time, then this may be a good option, because using it in the fingertips is fine. But I have noticed, because I do have medium to large hands, even using it in the fingertips for a prolonged period of time, I do get a bit of fatigue in the hands, because I actually have to close my hands a bit more to kind of use this mouse. So if I'm using it like this is how I use it. And then if you look at how much my hands are actually closed, you can see that there is a little bit of pressure on the hands there. It actually is causing my fingers and hand to bend a bit more compared to some other mice. For example, if I bring in the M650, I can use this in my fingers, and then if you look at it, it's not actually closed as much as this one has to be closed. So if you look at that, and then you look at how open my hand is compared to the other one, it is quite substantially, more open compared to this. So then if you want to put less pressure on your fingers, your joints and your hand, this may be a better option compared to a smaller mouse like this. But if you've got smaller hands, then this is probably a good option. So if you've got small to medium hands, I'd recommend this one if you use it in your fingers. Whereas if you use your mouse in your palm, you can use it with the M650. This is actually the large version, so just keep that in mind, guys. If you have larger hands, this is a really good option to go for. And if you have smaller hands, you may want to go for this or the normal signature M650. Let's bring in now the MX Master 3S, and this is a classic. This is, guys, has become one of the most well-known mice on YouTube, and people are everywhere. Creators are talking about this one, and it's become known as a king of productive mice. So if you want a productive mouse, then this is probably a good option. It's got a bigger size to it, so if you have got bigger hands, then this is going to be a really good choice. And it actually fits really well to the contour of your hands. So literally your hand, you can just place your hand on it, and it's already at a really good size where you can just place your hand, and just the natural shape of your hand, it fits it. So, and you've got this area here where you can rest your thumb on. I like that a lot. And for the size of my hand, this is like a perfect mouse, to be honest with you. One thing I don't like about it is the scroll wheel. It's a bit hit and miss, really. I like how it has a metal scroll wheel, but sometimes it can be a bit unwieldy, where you can just, when you're scrolling, it's not actually as accurate as these. So sometimes it will skip a line. I don't know about you guys, but this is the experience I've had with this one. Sometimes it'll actually go through two lines when I'm just trying to, go through one line. So scrolling on this one isn't as seamless as scrolling with either this or this. I find the scrolling experience a bit better on these, and I actually like the rubber on these too. So in terms of the material, it doesn't matter too much, but I actually like this one quite a lot. But the only thing I don't like about it is how it sometimes, when you're scrolling, I mean, you kind of have to just experience it for yourself, guys, but when you're scrolling, sometimes it'll skip a line and it won't be as accurate as scrolling with these guys. So it's hard to explain, but I prefer the scroll wheel on these two, even though I like the metal on this. You get a couple of buttons on the side as well, which you can program to go, back a page or forward a page or copy and paste. So that's really nice to have. I haven't found myself using these, to be honest with you, but I do use this for scrolling on the timeline when I'm video editing. So I think that's quite a useful feature. But at the same time, when I'm going up and down on here, I find on my timeline I can actually use this for the same purpose as this. So I don't see too much value in having this and these buttons here, for me anyway. But you guys, you may have some really good uses for those. But I find like on the timeline, I can actually use this, and this will be sufficient enough. I don't actually need these on the side, but they're nice to have. And one really nice thing about this is you can switch between devices. You can use 3 devices with this. So you can program it to your desktop, one of your laptops, and maybe another device as well, another laptop maybe. So that's really nice to have, and it's seamless. Using this button to change between devices, it works really well, I must tell you that. Whereas these mice, they don't have that feature. You can only use it with one device at a time. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can actually go into your system preferences on whatever device you're using and connect it up manually, but you don't actually need to do that with this one. So I really like that feature about it. One downside to the MX Master 3S is that it's quite heavy. So if you're used to having a lighter mouse like I am, this can be on the heavier side. So when moving it around, it's a bit more of an effort to move it around compared to these. These are nice and easy and light to move around, and they're really agile and they're really sensitive as well. Whereas this one, even though it does fit your hand really, really well, and probably will reduce some wrist pain, if you do have some wrist pain based on your mouse, if your mouse is a bit too small for you, this is going to do a really good job with that. However, it is a bit more heavier, so it can feel a bit more of a hassle kind of moving it around and using this with your computer if you're used to a lighter mouse. So just keep that in mind, guys. So you do get some buttons with the signature MX50L, so you can program these to back page and forward page, or you can program it to copy and paste as well. So that it's got that functionality, whereas you don't get that on this mouse. It's really simple, and you don't actually get that feature with this one. You don't get any other buttons. It's just a plain mouse, and you may actually like that. You may actually prefer that. You may actually like having no other buttons and just a plain simple mouse. The material on the side here is just a plain plastic material, and all the way around it's like just a plastic material. You get a bit more of a glossy plastic here, whereas on these mice you get more of a sort of a rubberish material on the side. On the MX50L you get more of a smooth plastic on the top and then some rubber on the side, so you get a good balance here. You get some nice grips here too. You get some grip sort of ribs here, which provide you with some nice grip, which you don't get on this one. Whereas on this, you get some nice rubber material all the way around, really, apart from where you click. So where you click is a smoother plastic, but the rest of the way around is more of a rubber silicone material, similar to my phone case, funnily enough. So I've got a silicone case on my phone, and this material isn't too dissimilar to that. It's like a silicone type material, and it gives you some nice grip and nice comfort when holding your mouse. And on the bottom is a smooth plastic material. This is a really comfortable and premium looking mouse, I must say. And so in terms of the looks, I really like it. It's not like a normal mouse. It is a bit different and it is quite unique. But in terms of the looks, I don't actually mind it. I actually quite like the looks of it. But you guys might have a different opinion. You might think that you prefer the look of a traditional mouse, and then if you do, this mouse and this mouse would suit you a bit more better compared to this one. This one you might think is a bit too overkill for how it looks. It's just it's got a bit of a crazy look to it, but it does the job. So if you try it out for yourself, I'd recommend buying this and trying it out for yourself. Buy it with the intention to actually return it. So if you're really unsure about it, buy it with the intention to return it, and it may really surprise you, because I actually purchased it and I thought, well, that's a bit of a strange shape for a mouse, but I'll try out anyway. And I've actually fallen in love with it. It's actually a really nice mouse. And when just holding it, it's actually addictive to use because of how good it is holding it in your hand. It's actually a really, really nice mouse, and it's really comfortable. So out of all three of these, even though this is a larger mouse compared to this one, so this actually fits my hand a bit better, this one actually fits my hand perfectly, and I actually prefer this one out of all three. So I'm actually still deciding between all of these, but I feel like I'm going to be going with this one because I like this one the best in terms of the shape of it. The scroll wheel can be improved. I think that's probably the least best feature for me on this one. The scroll wheel, I like the metal, but I feel like it could work a bit more seamlessly. And in terms of scrolling, I think it can be improved. But still, I find myself going to this one each time, and I think I prefer this one out of all three of these. So guys, I hope this helped you. I didn't go into all of the extensive features of all of these mice. I'm just going through the thought process I'm going through when looking at all three of these. So it's kind of like an off-the-cuff type of video where I'm just giving you my thoughts, which I do in most videos anyway, to be honest with you guys. So I try and keep it real with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you guys. These are all three of these mice are really great mice, so you can't go wrong with any of these. But it all just depends on how you hold your mouse and how big your hands are as well. So I'd say if you're really unsure, buy all three and then just keep the one you like the best. That's what I've done, and I think I'm probably going to be keeping this one and returning these two. So but they're all three of them are great mice, and I'd recommend trying them out. And Logitech do a great job with their mice, their keyboards, so I'd recommend them for both of those things. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you watching the video until the end. I hope it helped you. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you come back to the channel and watch another video soon. So catch you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.